he does. All right. Oh, 100% win rate because old Jackie Love has been playing this.
That's really interesting, too, that... I mean, I guess we do see these the top 3 AD carries gone, but yeah, typically we'd see some go towards that Ashe against Euphilos. Kramer's the big one who likes to go towards that, but yeah, like you said, Jackie Love is someone who prefers to go towards this Kai'Sa.
Hope played this a bit last split as well, right?
Yep, he did play it, and it's a champion that we like for our team fight AD carries who also have the ability to pop off. It also gives him the ability to have some of the onus to get in the fight for himself.
Plus, also note that Audi's been a top laner who enables the rest of his team. Also, a bit of an individual standout. As before we talk that, Syndra's been given over to Suning on blue side, as well as a Jarvan for SOFM.
And the thing that's interesting to me is the fact that the win rates of our junglers, Graves and Trundle, are sitting in like the low 40s, to where you just saw Jarvan's is about a 60% win rate. So Jarvan and Lee Sin in the LPL are how teams have been winning games. On the superior meta style, not so much.
It's kind of funny because Jarvan towards the end of last split was like the worst pick, or at least one of the worst junglers. So we're starting out on a very different dynamic because, hello, Mr. Clearlove. The 7s in chat I can already expect. Because EDG have given Mako what was his best champion in spring. He only played the Nautilus. He was spamming it alongside Hope.
Yep, and obviously it's the champion that best pairs well with this Kai'Sa and setting up all her damage from her passive.
Yep.
So not only is Mako on comfort, goes well with the lane, and moving back over to Suning, I like that we see some more early mid playmaking potential come out from the Syndra and Jarvan. Jarvan obviously going to have a lot of options on the map. Another level 2 ganking jungler, just like the Trundle, so we could always see a bit of early shenanigans. Let's hope so, because, game 1 was lacking in the early shenanigans category.
Agreed. SOFM kind of sat back, and I mean, that's fine.
That was his job, right?
We
set out those were the win conditions.
But proactivity is something I like to say here for Suning, is that's what it's been about with the skirmish composition style of spring. We look towards EDG. They're starting to ban away supports now. Lyric, before we started talking about this, I was going to mention we've seen a lot more Kayle in the meta. And with the Kai'Sa picked up, I mean, that has been something easy to go to.
You don't blind the Kayle, though. That's so risky.
But what if you last pick it?
I mean, what is the enemy picked? Those are the questions.
Ornn is still open.
Okay, so you're asking me, can you counterpick Kayle on the Ornn, which we've seen many times? Yes.
Yeah.
But now Ornn is gone, so that's not going to happen. EDG are going to counterpick a mid laner here. I was going to say Scout is one of our players who does play the Echo quite well. Played it numerous times in spring, and we've seen some people mis-execute on this matchup. The big one in my mind is Maul. So glad to see we're actually getting people who proficient on this Echo, have the experience doing quite well. Not to throw shade at my man Maul, but
I was about to say, you're the V5 hype guy.
It has to be said that this matchup, I feel like, does require some finesse and some experience in it. I like to see people who play the Echo get into this matchup, and Scout does do that.
I'm going to get you to explain it when we get into game, because I'm very interested in how the Syndra and Echo interact. I'm sure a lot of our audience are as well, on a deeper understanding. Let's shift gears to Suning, though, because you have a Bard on Sword Art once again, a conversation starter that we were leading with here today, talking about how Suning have changed coming into summer. And Bin, of course, on the Wukong again means round 2.
Yeah, and I do expect him to lock this in. Despite last game, Bin has looked good on this champion when he's played it before. It just offers such reliable engage, obviously also a very good damage dealer. And the thing I like is we have a lot of proactivity on the side of Suning. Pretty much every member on the team has some hard CC.
Oh, okay.
I felt like that was a bug, because I'm like, they're going to really long time.
It's like when you're in solo queue and your client times out and it's on 0 seconds for about 10 minutes. As Hecarim, oh yes. Now, Audi was the set top who spammed the hell out of it in spring. Seeing him on the Hecarim is a fun bit of change here for the EDG top laner.
So, I love EDG's comp because it's actually very similar in identity to the one that TS drafted. You look at it, it's a full dive squad, right?
Yeah.
Hecarim, Echo, and Kai'Sa all jumping in at the same time, pretty much blowing up the backline carries of Suning. If they execute, it works. If not, they're going to get picked off one by one.
I love that point, because Onslaught of Shadows the Fear puts a stack of plasma for the Kai'Sa, right? Yep. Easy access to the backline.
Obviously gives you time for Echo to hit his W as well. So if the coordination is there from EDG, I really like comps like this. They're really interesting, really fun to watch.
But if they are a top 8 team, then a comp like this, you expect them to be able to execute it well, right? You're going up against a team like Suning, who in game 1 kind of fell back and didn't rise to the occasion of the 35-minute game where they could climb back in.
Yeah, and kind of moving over from EDG, for Suning, they will have early prio in that mid-jungle 2v2, so you are still going to have a place where you can look to get an advantage and play from.
Mid 2v2. You see I'm writing this down, right?
Yes, I do.
Now, for the S word, we don't use it here just yet, because you know I like talking about scaling so, but this is not cut and dry by any means.
No, exactly. I actually love it. I love that you're picking up on that.
I'm learning.
Look at you, exactly. Yeah.
Hey.
I feel like you're the
Raz
you're the
tried to
analyst.
teach me, but he left because I was such a bad student. That was the only reason. But you're stuck here with me for at least another split.
Sadly, actually, technically, I'm not.
You could leave?
I could disappear at any time, but
how sad would the viewers be? They're just getting to know you. Know the person that is Lyric.
And I'm just getting to know them as well.
And you almost called yourself Bear Milk Tea. What a shame.
That's the story that we haven't talked about. Oh, God. I was almost Bear Milk Tea. That was almost my casting name.
Do you want to give context or should I?
I don't. No. We don't give any context. We leave the story as is for now, and then, like, one day someone will ask, like, what was that?
He almost called himself BMT. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 2. EDG on the red side this time around, and as Lyric said in draft, there is a lot about the execution here for EDG, as the runes are pretty standard across the board.
The thing is, when we talk about execution, win conditions, scaling, you look at what EDG have, and it's like, okay, you have this Kai'Sa going to come a late game damage and monster. Echo heavily outscales the Syndra. Hecarim, the fact that you are like a AD bruiser who needs to get in the middle of a fight and you're not very inherently tanky means in a game sense you don't scale well, but out of those bruisers, Hecarim is one of the better scaling ones. You also have the Trundle who's going to steal resistances, so I'd say the whole of EDG's composition scales quite well. Okay. You look over at Suning, and it's like, okay, you have this Aphelios. So we always know a late game Aphelios can take over the game, but if EDG get on top of Suning, any late game skirmish, they win.
Okay.
They for sure win. But you do have disengage coming out from that Bard ultimate, as well as it can prevent like a really good line of defense with the Cyclone coming out from Bin.
Because I guess if Juan Fong has access with SOFM and Bin being able to frontline there, then yeah, Aphelios will do. Aphelios, excuse me.
It sounds quite hard though. Like I would say, as I'm explaining this, I would favor EDG's comp.
But let's return to what you said about Suning, because you talked about the mid 2 versus 2 with the Syndra and the Jarvan. SOFM, you also mentioned how easy it is here for him to gank at level 2. Well, pings are going down. A sign of help requested from Angel. But right now, SOFM is towards his Krugs after picking up the red buff, while towards the top side, Jeje will go with the Trundle. He's already picked up buff to buff, now going back through his clear.
So,
just the Electrocute with a good trade, but again, Scout at this point in the game, not too happy after Angel is just auto-attacking him.
Well, that's actually quite strange. So he's kind of lucky that his minions evened out the trade in the end, because this matchup used to be meta. I think it was Season 8, where as Echo, your pretty much only goal early on is to push out those first few waves. You obviously have your Q, which does give you a bit of safety in being able to get some CS. Try to get a good back with like a Dark Seal, come back to lane with more sustain, and then once you hit like the level 5 mark, you can start clearing out more consistently with your Q, and then obviously you have safety once you hit level 6, and that's when you can start looking for the all-in trades onto the Syndra.
Because we're only at level 3, and Scout's been pushed out a second time here after using the Corrupting Potion.
But think about it. He's pushed out from the all-in that he took, right? Yep. He was like 80% HP prior to that, and then he went down to 20, used his Corrupting Potion, still going to be able to come back to lane with that Dark Seal, so did accomplish the goal that I just set out for him, and now this is where you do feel all right as an Echo.
You also know that he used Teleport to get back to lane. I think he used it on the side, but Ward from Suning should have spotted that one out, while Jeje's coming up for a top side gank, and Bin is pushed out. Flash is available, but Hecarim, Horsey wants to play. Bin flashes, but is it going to save him? Ignite drop down against the wall with a flag and drag. Here comes Daddy SOFM. A 1-for-1 trade. The first blood does go over to EDG, but with Conqueror enabled, I don't think Audi wants to be part of this trade anymore. SOFM in the nick of time.
That counter gank was beautiful. EDG, I can see what they were going for. Actually, had he not had to use his E and push Bin back, I feel like that would have worked for EDG. Probably should have just called it at the flash, but overall, great read by SOFM.
I mean, Bin getting a trade back must feel pretty good there in the top lane matchup. He's going to be walking here, saves his TP while Audi had to burn his and the Ignite in the trade. This game starts off with a bang, and we're not done here with the escape from Suning going to be easy. Look at the cups of tea set up there by Sorta. What a pleasant experience.
Well, it's not tea, it's hot cocoa.
Okay. Yeah,
You're the one who knows the skin lore.
I said it last time, didn't
exactly.
I?
You're the skin expert.
This is the second best Bard skin.
But we see there, Audi had to TP back to lane, push it out, and then recall. A lot of fans are like, why would he do that? Had he not TP'd back initially, then his lane would have been stuck in that bad position near Bin's turret where he could have just kept it there and made Audi lose a lot of XP.
I'm going to pause you here, Lyric, because Jeje is going to die. Exhausted, and Sword picks up the kill. And you talked about the Suning mid 2 versus 2, but SOFM is so far ahead at this point that it's just him.
We said that Suning have a lot of power in the early and mid game against what EDG have drafted. Of course, Angel's going to have some priority in this early laning phase. Jarvan, of course, as well, being very strong in the fact that Sordart's on Bard is going to be able to constantly move out of lane. Great start from Suning, and this is the proactive style we like to see.
1,500 gold up. They move towards the Dragon, and Swordart gives him a bit of a helping hand. The Coco at the ready. And this is, yeah, proactivity is one word for it, but also decisiveness from Suning finally here in this series.
We also did see Angel punishing in the mid lane, but still, Scout staying pretty close in CS. Right now he's going to pick up a few more on this wave. He's actually waiting by his turret. We can see, again, much better than the performances we've seen from other players, and it shows that Scout is quite proficient on this champion. Doesn't matter if you do end up missing out on a few CS, because once you are able to get something like a Proto Belt, you're going to be able to get on top of Syndra easily and really come out ahead in these trades.
Scout is level 6 now as well. Angel the same. Just a side note, I mean, that interaction of Unleash Power versus Chrono Break, they cancel each other out in a sense.
Yeah. It is always interesting to see for Echo players, because in solo queue it's a lot more common. You go Lichbane second. It is a lot stronger of a power spike, especially with that Sheen proc in combo with your passive. But in pro play, we typically see Zhonya's come out second, since it is much better for, you know, starting off these fights that we do see in pro play. Plus,
we're going to have a bit of early damage from SOFM. Bin's going to be there. Huan Fong as well, so...
Yeah, true. Just going to be a good item in general, so...
Hey, I noticed SOFM has gone in for the blue invade. Now, Mako smells something fishy.
Ooh.
And he flashes.
Yeah, I do, right?
Yep.
Good magical journey coming out from Sword Art.
This early game from the Suning jungler is taking over.
He's using his lane priorities well. Sword Art also playing this Bard quite well, which... This is going to start making us questioning if Suning's champion pools are limited in the way they like to play the game. We highlighted how they're very dependent on this Bard.
As engage here, Onslaught of Shadows tried to predict a flash from Angel. He flashes the other way though, and into the dive as Scout's going to have to use the Chrono Break. Angel survives. And that was a dive attempted, at the very least, by EDG.
They still did blow a flash, right, as compared to you using no summoners on the side of EDG, so it's okay, but it's quite unfortunate. We can see what Audi was trying to do.
As Scout's going to be caught out, but you got to remember, he doesn't have the Chrono Break available. Parallel Convergence to try and predict the Scout of the Week that wasn't used in the end. A Scout survives, SOFM spotter going towards the bottom side, while in that trade too, Lyric, notice that Bin picked up a bit of turret plating for the cost of that flash. Angel mid.
Yeah, so overall, Suning getting small advantages across the map. Not only, I'd say mostly from the proactive plays they're deciding to make, but also benefiting from EDG not able to execute on the ones they're hoping for.
And we come back to a game state with
look at that turret.
Oh, it's almost gone. But Aphelios always does this, right?
This one-sided, though, to where
okay.
EDG don't have turret plates on any side of the map?
Okay,
exactly,
good point.
Right.
You know me. This guy, my mortal enemy. There's SOFM. He's going to be spotted up coming towards his top side. Audi, he's got TP, Ignite. None of them going to help him here in this situation. Onslaught of Shadows on cooldown. Headless Horseman on the grand escape. While
JJ is here.
Yeah. Trundle is 2 levels behind though, Lyric. He doesn't even have subjugators. Dives through from Bin. He's getting revenge against Aldi from game 1. SOFM, all he needs to do is Cataclysm, second Cyclone, no escape, the horse gets jumped up, SOFM flashes away, and JJ can't get a return kill. This top lane is 0-2.
0-2, and like you said, that level disadvantage is so massive for JJ. Of course, going to be able to get level 6 now from the experience on the minion waves, but Suning should be able to guarantee this Herald. Maybe not yet, but at some point with the fact that both of their side lanes are winning heavily.
Massive,
and
yeah.
even in mid, right? You're a Syndra. You're going to consistently just be able to clear these waves pretty much instantly. So pretty much 3 lanes of priority at this point. Those neutral objectives should just be yours.
SOFM's been taking camp after camp away from JJ. I mean, that level discrepancy through taking the blue buff as EDG do get the start, but
This is
SOFM.
extremely disrespectful.
Mako and Scout going to be walking here. Teleport being used, and this is a Trundle who has flash. Might have to burn it. Instead, they go for Mako, who has no summoners available. Mako just dies, and the Herald is going to reset in a second, but disrespectful. Great word, Lyric.
I mean, 3 lanes of priority, winning jungler. What else is there?
That, yeah.
What else is there?
Ooh, you ready for not a solo kill because Huan Fong does not have Chakram.
And now, Suning gonna do what we expected, realizing, hey, we're winning everywhere. Let's take a Rift Herald. Could cost them a dragon if they're not quick enough, to where I feel like, okay, so it shouldn't cost them a dragon in my opinion. I feel like they can contest, but no, they actually just want to abuse Audi.
Audi went in for the trade as Rift Herald went down. I don't know what that was all about as Tempered Fate pulls him back in. Sword Art flashes in. The auto attack with the exhaust might be enough. A nice little Spirit of Dread. That'll keep him alive, but Suning going to get this turret anyway. They're already up 4k gold.
But
make it about 5.
EDG are reacting in the bot lane.
How quickly can they do it? Huan Fong going to get dove here versus 3. Gravitum is available though, locks them in under turret, but it's not the person who's tanking it in Mako. 1 turret plate versus an inner,
but
most likely.
Hysterics. Okay, Suning are winning out this trade, but the disrespect from Huan Fong. Your team is trading on the opposite side of the map.
That's true.
You know EDG are on the bot side because, I mean, obviously you're in their jungle. You know they're not there.
You don't need to do that.
Just disrespect.
Yeah. A lot of disrespect happening in this game, isn't there?
A lot of disrespect happening in the LPL, just overall.
Yeah, that is also very true. EDG going to be starting up this dragon. Meanwhile, it's a reset that's come through after getting those 2 turrets stopped. So I want to allude back to Suning's lead, even though Huan Fong died there. It's 5,000 gold now at 12 minutes. And I'm still going to look towards Suning and say, well done.
I agree. They've been playing quite good, and the thing is they've made it so Audi isn't really a factor in this game. FLICKR when he's behind is useless, right? Just with a lot of these AD melee bruisers, Wukong same, we saw it last game, right?
Yep.
Because you're not indexing into being a pure tank, but you still need to go get in the middle of the enemy team, but you're so behind in damage, you're not actually going to be able to, you know, delete anyone if your team even coordinates a dive with you, so... Yeah, Audi not going to be a factor in this game.
And it's kind of funny because it's like, these 2 top laners, both when they snowball, they're insanely obnoxious, right? Like
yes.
A Wukong with Trinity Force early with his 2nd item, a Hecarim who has Trinity Force with his 2nd item as well is just insane to deal with. So Audi feeling the rough end of the stick, while for Bin, he gets a bit of revenge for what game was, which was bully the monkey top. Now it's going to be bullying the horse. Animal be animal violence.
The problem is now for Scout. Scout could look for an all-in and win against Angel at this point, like 100%. The problem is both your side lanes are losing.
Yeah.
So it's never safe to look for that.
And your jungler keeps getting caught out. Now in the jungle is double TP used. Audi with the Onslaught of Shadows pulls them back on in. That Wombo smacks them together like a sandwich. EDG pick up 2 quick kills as Mako, probably the wrong button there. SOFM has to escape. That came out of left field from EDG.
I love the expression you used. Smack them together like a sandwich 100%. And that's how the comp's supposed to work for the rest of this game, right? You see the Hecarim, the Kai'Sa, and the Echo all jump in at the same time. And Suning's comp, is so squishy, a lot of people are just going to die.
At this point in the game, giving a kill to Kai'Sa, definitely going to be hope. As Suning have found themselves EDG, but Mako comes in just in the nick of time. SOFM and Bin will not be able to continue this chase. Away they go, with turret plating going down at the same time.
You know another question this series, SOFM, oh, they're just gonna guarantee bot lane turret.
What was your question?
is what are EDG going to do jungle-wise? Because they just 2-0'd OMG with Junja. And now, okay, it could go to a 3-game series, but if they 2-0, that's a 2-0 with JJ. So, and I don't like in summer when teams aren't kind of getting towards making a selection on their 5-man squad unless they have a really clear identity on why they have subs, right?
Yeah.
To where, once again, sure, they have different champion pools, but it still doesn't feel like it changes the game plan for EDG. So it feels like it's better just to commit to one on the road to Worlds rather than dividing up scrim time, which is a limited resource.
You know what the hardest part is? I think JJ and Junja, it's hard to choose between them, right?
No, I agree.
Where, let's use another example. Duke versus the Shy. It was super easy to pick the Shy as the starting top laner for IG of 2018 when Duke was like a side note of we need a bit more stability.
Even on one more relevant to recency in LPL, Ike's versus Chieftain. Very easy to see that Ike's is the better player that they should commit to rather than Chieftain. I agree when you look at JJ and Jinja, there isn't really too clear of an answer. Both of them are good. Both of them can play in the LPL.
Yeah. And Junja's really found his form as well. Remember, ECS player, that's the LMS secondary league back when the LMS
I'm pretty
existed.
sure Junja's only 18.
Yeah, he's super young.
Yeah, he's
super young.
He's 18 or younger. He might be 17.
You know the example I should have used? I should have used Clear Love versus Haro. That would have been a bit more relevant, right?
Yeah, Mr. LPL.
Yeah, that's what they call me. As Audi is going to get solo killed here as a potential, but JJ makes his presence known. Sword Art is roaming once again. Nice cosmic binding as Bin wants to engage. The Tempered Fate means this Trundle is going in a body bag under the bridge. He knows it. Huan Feng knows it. Thumbs up. Thank you for the contribution.
Suning just consistently abusing the members. They've already set behind on EDG. Audi, we can see, is not even finished with this first item. Not even finished with the third component of that Triforce to where Bin is almost finished with his second item. So getting on his way to being a strong carry threat. I mean, he actually already is a strong carry threat. Has a huge bounty, 2-1 and 3 on that Wukong.
I mean, even the support in Sword Art has the Shurellias and Boots of Swiftness, right? Plus the Ruby Health Crystal. And becoming close in terms of value as Scout is going to make the engage here. But can he find it? Parallel Convergence won't hit the mark. And so easy to escape with the Bard. Huan Feng continues to show up his thumb.
I mean, Parallel Convergence is very hard.
He's on a ward. Sword Art is on a ward. The phase dive to lock him down. A really nice cosmic binding yet again from Sword Art. And the pillar doesn't lock Huan Feng the right way as Scout wants to continue following this up. He has flash, but Sword Art is too far away.
And this game does kind of signify some of the EDG games in the sense of, when you think of EDG, right, you think of Scout and Hope.
Yeah.
You think of, like, these are the two primary carries of the team. Audi has had good moments, but still kind of coming into his own. JJ and Junja, I'd say very similar story. Mako, you know, in kind of like the later years of his career. So this game, Scout and Hope trying their best to get to the point to where they can carry, but haven't really been facilitated that way. We're at a 5K gold deficit, actually.
We've been there for a while, and yeah, Suning keep pushing that forward. There's a pick onto JJ before. It's the picks that we've seen, and this Rift Herald. It's going to require a miracle for EDG to slow this game down, for EDG to find a way back in this second game. We're only just seeing, as you talked about before, the first items come through. The Hecarim now with Sheen, but no Trinity Force. And Suning keep pushing into enemy jungle. Vision getting denied. Camps getting denied. JJ getting denied more experience.
And the good thing is, like, Suning are nowhere near Soul Point, but Cloud Soul. But they do have an Ophelio, so a quick Baron Rush is always on the table.
Yeah.
And they even have Bard Ultimate to try to, you know, lock down JJ before he can even get to the pit.
I mean, I'd talk about it now, but we don't have a SOFM was a bit of BM laugh back. If only the enemy could see that. I was going to say, you know, Baron's not up. The only reason why it might not be snuck right now. And you have to say there's a very contrast to Game 1. Game 1, Suning, it's almost like they lost their heads at some point. And
I mean, they drafted this ultra scaling composition. We were fine with it, right? It looked good on paper. There were ways to get to where they wanted to go. Then we just saw some things like that bot lane where they lost 2 towers to Herald and opened up the inhibitor. And
they couldn't make a decision. They couldn't make a move, and they just got, you know, caught out doing nothing. Less than nothing.
And now Suning are at a point where 4 turrets are already down, and they still have that Herald. Probably just going to take down 1 turret unless EDG makes some kind of huge blunder.
But is this the play? I think it could be, because Bin's gone a bit too far forward. There is a level lead for Scout as Phase Dive will connect. The damage is massive. Bin goes into Cyclone form as Chrono Break has to be used before they can get the finishing blow. The flash forward for Jer. What the heck is this? Mako comes in with a depth charge to lock down Bin. They do get him eventually, but holy moly, defend your base.
Hysterics, I just said this should only take one turn unless EDG makes some huge blunder.
They made a blunder.
Yes, they did. Is there another Australian word for like blunder or huge mistake? Australian slang?
I say whoopsie, but I think that's a normal thing.
That is a normal thing.
Not
common, but normal.
You know? Oh, what is Australian? Fair shake of the sauce bottle is, you know, like a fair go.
Holy.
You know, bangers and mash. I'm trying to get into the words and just remember. It's been a while. It's been 2 years since I've lived in Australia. And I've kind of lost the...
You have kind of lost
the
it.
oomph.
I'm kind of disappointed.
Oh. You know what? Give Rusty a call. Pull out your phone.
I'm just saying.
He's got a lot of Australianisms.
If you can't be more Australian...
Oh,
what?
Buggered. I don't know. I'd say not a blunder, but buggered is when you're exhausted.
You need to give people a reason to watch you over Atlas. You know?
Oh, no. But Atlas is the best. As I think EDG are going to be the worst after this fight because Bin's coming in. Cyclone, oh, it's available. He wait for the onslaught of Shadows. Nicely done as Mako gets Gravitomed even after the flash. The damage not enough, but it won't need to be. Baron's up, and EDG have lost their AD carry.
I think we're at a point where Bin is 2.5 or 3 items at this point.
Oh.
His full combo.
Screwed.
That's a normal word. Also, the timing was pretty weird, but...
Screwed.
I guess we are at a 6K gold point. EDG actually... posturing for this, like, they really need to, right? They can't just give it up for free.
I mean, Scout's going to get caught out here. Nice Scout of the week. No Chrono Break. He had it, but he couldn't use it thanks to the CC. Another one bites the dust. In this game, looking like we're going to number 3 here.
You had to go for this play, though, right? You just lost your AD carry. Suning are 6K gold ahead. They're pressuring you in every lane consistently. They dictate every fight. Had they gotten that Baron, they could have just grouped up mid, bot, top, wherever. It doesn't matter. You can have Bin dive and... You have a bunch of squishy members on EDG who are just going to die.
I guess the Colonel we should be trusting here with Suning. He told us wisely about EDG in game number 1. All hail the Colonel. As we're getting a quick replay of this one. It was just Hope and Mako getting caught out.
Just watch the Wukong damage on Hope.
This was 6 sidestep though.
He just one combo kills everyone.
Yeah.
Nothing else really mattered, and Suning getting to continue forward leads to them trying to do the Baron where EDG feel pressured to stop it, which they did stop the Baron, right? So they achieved their ultimate goal at the cost of Scout's life.
And now everyone's back alive. They can do it again. Remember, if we're just talking simply for the clock, you talked about the scaling, but we're so far away from that.
Also, interesting to note that Scout did go with the Lichbane second rather than the Zhonya's, which again, very common in solo queue, much less common in pro play.
You normally see the Zhonya's in
almost
solo queue, like... Oh, no, yeah, in pro play second. But
so those are still your 3 core items as
yeah.
Echo, where that's when you become, like, extremely strong, but just the order being different.
Maybe he builds Magi's next. You
I
know,
hope
the confidence when you're 7K gold down.
You should not be doing any coaching.
That's me.
Yeah.
You wouldn't trust me as a coach?
You don't even know your own country's language.
Hang on. That has nothing to do with my coaching. And second of all...
I'm using the word language.
I think we just use the word screwed. Honestly, I don't think we have another word for, like, you know, messed up. And buggered is like when you're tired, right?
Oh, I know, yeah.
Yeah. You know, is that not an Australian word?
No, bugger's an Australian word.
Oh,
my old roommate in America is Australian. So
good for you. Yeah. You had the blessing of living with an Australian. Did he cook you some good food?
Dude,
he actually
is a great cook.
Hey, all Australians are. Just ask him for a barbie and some sangers.
He makes really good salsa, which is really surprising.
I'll tell you one thing. That's interesting. Baron has been started here, and Suning are just wailing into it. Aphelios is playing the ninja game once again. Into the pit, the steal. Is it there? Oh, damage. They hit it away, and wow. EDG got the Baron, and Suning now need to kill them. But out comes Aphelios from the Zhonya's as Juan Fong has so many shurikens. Oh my god. He loses most of them, though. They re-engage. It's a triple for Hope. And how the hell did Suning lose that?
I want to know the same thing. What is with LPL and Barons? This happens so often.
I went into that thinking, this is it. That's the fight.
It didn't matter. It was over, right? This game, and sure, we talked about EDG scaling earlier on, but Suning was just playing so dominantly. They were so far ahead. And now, you know, we're back to an even game.
And Bin was stuck in front of the Baron. I watched him auto it, and I thought, no, you got to be joking. And Jeji just went and spied away. Let's watch again, because I want to see this one in slow-mo.
So we see EDG posturing. So no ultimates are up on the side of Suning. They've already been used. So you're not able to actually lock anyone down. Hope with a great ultimate able to kill SOFM. And then Bin and Trundle able to just secure that Baron. So just great play coming out from EDG. We see Huanfeng trying to carry the fight with all of his chakrams. Walking forward, flashes into Mako.
He thought he had all the chakrams. It's an Aphelios thing, you know?
And we're at 2 dragons apiece.
Uh-oh.
EDG still at a point where they're very strong. Also very interesting to see that Scout isn't going towards the Zanyas, actually.
Yeah. Is sitting on the stopwatch, but the Nash is third. Just picked up Muramana as we're looking towards the build as well. He got a triple kill in that last fight.
I said Scout, but yes,
sorry.
Hope's build as well.
I was just thinking
he did get a triple kill.
He might be going towards the Zanyas 4. I was thinking about Hope because I saw the triple in the last fight, as I just mentioned. He's now massive with a bounty on his head. And coming back to Scout, oh yeah, with the blasting wand. Still 2-1 and 4. In a good position in the side wave with the Baron buff.
And now they can just continue to pressure like this. It'll be very hard to answer on Scout. And if you're going to kill Scout, you need to dedicate multiple people, multiple resources. So EDG just need to play the balancing act of where their mid, Hope, Mako, and JJ are in a position to pressure if Scout ends up getting caught out by 2 or 3 people.
If Suning lose this game, it's okay to call it a very bad loss, right? This was they should win this game. They should have.
Yeah, this was...
This was SOFM was playing so well. I mean, it was good for Hope.
We saw that one Wukong combo killed Hope. Like, that's it. Like, straight up killed him. That was it. You do one combo, he's gone. So, to me, there was really no excuse for Suning.
Are you ready? Because EDG are pushing bot. Pings are going down. It's only been here.
Again,
okay, they're leaving. Baron's going.
Their composition's a balancing act, right? You need Echo pushing in one lane at the same time as the other 4. Ideally, you'd want a 1-3-1, but Hecarim is so far behind, he cannot sit in a lane by himself.
What do you think, just coming back to Scout's build, the level 16 Echo now has a Void Staff?
I find it really interesting. Like, they're not even heavily indexed into magic resist yet, so sure, Angel does have the Banshee's Veil. I'd still prefer the Zanyas, though. I don't feel like you actually need the magic pen.
Hang on, Mako's been caught on out. As SOFM, he has no way of getting over the wall. He flashes away. Now JJ has to run away. Note that junglers are, for the first time this game, level 12.
Actually, just going back quickly to the other conversation, I guess Bin does have Negatron Cloak on top of Death Stance, so going to help you in those trades, but
Shirley's Reverie there.
Still, just the play pattern as Echo feels so nice with the Zanyas.
4th item at the very least you'd expect. Still sitting on the Dark Steel with, I believe that's a Corrupting Potion, while Suning are going to do this Dragon. You mentioned it's a Cloud Rift. Both teams like, yeah, whatever. We've got Cloud Soul coming up here for Suning.
The Cloud Drakes still feel great, especially look at Suning's comp. It is so ult-reliant, right? Especially when you have things like a Bard, a Wukong.
I was also going to say, taking it away from EDG must feel great. When you talk about an Echo.
Oh my god, 3 Cloud Drakes with Echo. It feels beautiful. You love your life. You're pressing R every second.
Plus, the Soul. Remember, when you press Chrono Break and you come back, you get that massive movement speed bonus. So, there's also like the caveat, the cherry on top, I should say, plus a Hecarim.
Yeah,
so,
right. So,
Horsey going to run.
Both comps would love it.
And so we're at a point where, okay, Dragon put on the back burner now for another 4 minutes, 30 seconds. The Baron that was stolen away by EDG is up again in 1 minute 20. I just want to say, one day I want a Mega Baron. You get the Elder as, hang on, I'm going to pause because SOFM's been called out. Subjugate's there and he has not too much MR to deal with. Scout is holding in. Is that Jackie Love? No, it is Hope. As he almost finds the hopeful play towards SOFM. He gets out alive, but EDG are showing us that they're coming alive.
It's kind of funny that yesterday I memed and said that Hope is the best AD carry over Jackie Love, and then today he actually does pick the Kaisa and tries to imitate Jackie Love. Maybe they do listen to the English broadcast.
Maybe they talk to each other and say, God, you know, we're going to play Kaisa this split and everyone else is going to watch. And to be fair, Hope is a great playmaking AD carry, and you don't say that much.
I love Kai'Sa for these like great team fighting AD carries because it's truly when you get to show your stuff on, right, how much is it your team peeling it for you, the enemy team's play, etc., to where on Kai'Sa, you choose when you ult in, how you ult in, your positioning, things along this line. So you can really set yourself apart and really make those highlight moments that people remember you for.
It's super easy for him in this game. Hope has 4 items, and one of them now, I was right, is the Sonya's Hourglass. So that's a big Kai'Sa with a big deal of delayed timing after using the Killer Instinct. Hope almost level 16 as well, so a lot of damage coming out now. Note that Huanfeng actually an item behind. Oh, half an item, I should say, as well. We're going to keep track of the items because Mako, an edge too far for SOFM, almost gets tagged on the pinky toe. But Baron now up. Is that if SOFM dies, it feels like this game could be done.
Yeah, and they're looking for him. Oh, Scout's going to be here.
Teleporting in. It's going to be seen here as well. Audi absorbs the pressure. Cyclone there. Of course, the Onslaught of Shadow used. Bin going to get bursted down. He wants to take Audi with him, but so close. Yet so far. That's a pick. 4 versus 5. 50 seconds. Suning towards Baron.
And Audi has TP, so Suning can't even try to threaten Baron because it would still be a 4v4 with Scout on the way.
So what do? Do EDG go straight into the Baron pit and start it off?
I think and you're not even necessarily trying to get the Baron. You're just trying to force a fight.
I want to point out that Hope's W seems a bit bugged. I'm not seeing it, but here we go. We start the Baron. Scout off on the wing.
Yeah, and right now we need to look out especially for Sword Art's ultimate. Can they pick someone off? Can they create a even out the numbers or create a numbers disadvantage in their favor?
They're in a choke. Scout's on the other side of the wall. The flash forward. Mako's going forward as they're onto the AD carry. Uses the chrono break. Scout's out of the fight. SOFM gets a knockout while Huanfeng kites all the way back. Aphelios is throwing him yet again. They survive while Scout is still threatening here, but saved by the Shrine, the Caretaker Shrine at that, while SOFM on the wrong side of Summoner's Rift heading towards Huanfeng. Audi wants to charge at him.
Bin's here, though.
And Scout's getting engaged on now with the Cyclone. Scout dies. Oh my lord, that's not good. EDG send it right back to Suning.
I love how you just phrased that because EDG, we're in such a prime position to be able to potentially take this game. We're talking about scaling the Kai'Sa, the Echo. We even saw in that fight almost being able to burst out Huanfeng. Of course, Hope went the AP build, so way more bursty. And Scout as well, both of them diving in together. Get him so close, but not able to finish him off.
Let's look again. Bin,
Bin
this
just
is
TP's in and presses.
I don't care about this one.
He TP's in, presses R, and
I will say,
that's about
I know we're not going to see the last fight, but Huanfeng surviving is all the thorns in the side for EDG. We still get that late game of Aphelios, right?
Exactly, right? So as long as they're able to peel for him, let him deal the damage necessary. We even saw in that last fight that Audi is still a non-factor, right?
Yeah.
Audi was taken out of this game. He tries to jump in, he gets bursted low quickly, has to run out, and now he can't do anything.
He's still only just caught up to that second item in the death stance, but we're resetting. Baron wasn't taken. The pick was big onto Scout, but it gave a bit more time to EDG once again, or at least for Suning to reset and get towards the Dragon, because this is Cloud Soul point. Gold at this point still matters, but it's close enough that EDG might not care as much. River control given over to Suning, and Audi's in position to ult. Doesn't have the Ignite, but will he really need it? Bin has ult again available and flash to get on the back line of EDG. Dragon starts.
We need to see EDG coordinate a dive onto Huanfeng. And Scout is coming from behind.
Well, Bin's actually in the back line as well. Hope caught it out as well. He flies across Summoner's Rift, but he's knocked on up. Goes golden with the Zonyas as that Tempered Fate locks down EDG in the back line. Mako gets low. Bin's there as well. And EDG have walked into their demise. That ult from Sword Art was bloody terrific. And I'll say it again, EDG are screwed.
Sword Art's ultimate single-handedly won them that game by keeping Huanfeng alive long enough to win out that fight.
Bards in the LPL, man. We say it every single time, but they rise to new occasions, and this time it was Sword Art piloting. Suning had this game from the beginning. It was a Baron steal / throw that put EDG back into form.
And then another throw.
Another throw takes it right back. This has been a momentous game, as we're going to go to one more of them to finish off this series.
Ultimately, this game to me just once again says LPL Barons. I don't really know what was going on. Great play in the early game from Suning, though. We need to highlight SOFM and Sword Art especially. Just doing very well. Oh my god. Sword Art is losing it.